Sabado, and it's a beautiful Sunday, and we're talking about condos this Saturday, Linda.
What a good subject matter, because things is shifting in the condo world.
That's right, that's right. And of course, if you're buying a condo in 2026, okay, and the unit is not only the thing that needs to be approved, the HOA, the reserves, the insurance, the paperwork are all on trial too. So who's the best person to get here on the show to just talk about this, Linda?
Well, I think none other than our supporter, Adam Criticos,
right,
with the
great
Criticos
partner.
Group with
That's
Cross
right.
Country Mortgage.
So
Magandang Sabado.
Magandang Sabado. Welcome,
Thank you.
Adam,
Thank
and
you
thank
for
you for
having me
your
always.
support. Of course, of course. So we got a very, very interesting topic to talk about, and we're dedicating the whole Saturday just on this one because there's a lot of things that, first, okay, condos and townhomes are right now are being like the go-to because of first-time home buyers, correct?
Okay, yes.
Because sad to say, a single family home now, it's costing like $300,000-$400,000.
Let's put it like this. They have to be making six figures to go through the door.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're working with a couple right now trying to find.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And the challenge is, right, is that then they're looking at condos because there's still condos and townhomes that are priced
Pretty reasonable.
under 300,000 maybe, right?
Sure.
So 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, they're looking at this 200, 250, under $300,000 condo, and they don't know how to maneuver through all of that.
Correct.
Okay, so first let's go basic. What are the different, like, people go, what's the difference between a condo, a coach home, a townhome, a quad, a duplex? You all know?
Yes, very much so.
So-
Probably more than you ever want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with the condo, okay? Condo as like the most lower tier possible. Like, this is where you go into the door and there's usually a hallway, right? Or
Yes,
an
a hallway.
elevator.
Yes.
Okay. It looks like an apartment building,
Yeah,
right?
I mean that's what a condo is. It's an apartment building, and they've converted each unit or apartment into single ownerships.
Right. And technically, what do you own in that type of a setup? Do you own the land? Do you own the roof? What do you own in that situation?
It's a great question. You own a small percentage of the actual building. So if you have
Right.
if there's 100 units in the building and you own one of them and they're all, let's say, all the same 2-bedroom, 1-bath, then technically you own 1% of that building.
Oh.
Well, I hate to put it this way. You actually own the air within the four walls.
I guess what we could do to be more specific, your percentage of responsibility of maintenance of that building
Correct.
is 1%.
1%.
But
But-
the ownership of it, you own the up to the walls.
Up to the walls,
and then
okay.
a small percentage of the common areas.
Okay, so it's like, this is kind of where, I mean, I'm not kidding. It's the air in between those four walls because you don't own the roof, you don't own the land, right?
No.
Okay,
No. You own
so-
Now you are responsible for a percentage of paying for that, and we'll get into it when it comes to maintenance of a condo.
Correct.
But yes, it is more of everything inside the walls of that particular unit.
Correct. Okay. So then
You said
let's,
the air, right?
the air. Let's move up, okay, to the second level, and let's talk about coach homes and manors. They call it coach home / manor. So now here's the thing. I would describe it as something wherein you walk into a lobby, and there's a door on your right, a door on your left, and then a door like steps up. There's another door like on the second floor on the left and the right. That's usually what they call a manor home. Okay, but guess what? It's still condo ownership. So it's still a condo. It's not fee simple, which we're gonna get into,
Mm.
it's still condo ownership, okay? So now, there's also then variations before we get to the condo. Sometimes this coach home situation, if there's only 4 of them, they can also be called quads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Quads, but sometimes it's called a coach home and a manor home because sometimes in a building there's 6 of them. Okay, so different configuration. So there's a condo, there's a coach home, it could be a quad, it could be a duplex. Okay,
Mhm.
so now there's duplexes, and the duplexes again, it's that one wall is attached to someone. Okay,
Correct.
so that's another one for duplexes. But then we finally get into a townhome, and a townhome is you walk through the door, voila, here's your living room.
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so why don't you talk about first that sometimes there are still townhomes that are called condos.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, and so I always ask this question when people are looking at condos. They may see a house that looks like a townhome where it's a 2-story home. They might be attached to another property where they're sharing a wall. But the difference between a condo, a legal townhome, and a condo townhome is that you own the land underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you are buying a townhome, but then you don't own the land underneath,
Mm-hmm.
then it's considered a condo,
Condo.
and you have a lot more, less control over what you can do with that property,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to follow all the association rules and regulations to the T in order for you to be able to live there with, obviously not getting bombarded by the association. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the big difference. So you could have a townhome and a condo townhome that look exactly the same, but we have to look at the legal description of the property, look at the PIN number to determine if it is a legal townhome or if it's a condo townhome, and they're treated differently because of the fact of them being a full part of the association.
Okay.
Because I do know some townhomes where there is a wall, however, it's classified as a duplex because some insurance companies do not insure townhomes. They do not insure. It has to be classified as a duplex. You heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Or, no, I mean, I haven't heard of that. I don't know if it's maybe it's a different type of insurance because you're sharing the roof and you're sharing the wall.
Right.
But
Right.
I've not heard that you won't be able to get insurance
Okay.
specifically.
It's more probably about maybe what their meaning is if you're looking to get a single family home type of insurance, which is looking at a replacement value of a home, which is what a homeowner's insurance is for a single family home. There's a portion of the single family home that is due to the replacement value of the single family home. Well, unfortunately, with a townhome that has a wall that is like with a roof, it cannot be treated as a single family home insurance because that insurance company is not going to pay for that wall that is attached to someone, and that because how do you do the replacement on that?
Yeah, so you bring up a good point. Maybe it has to be the same insurance for both owners, because you're right. If something happens to the roof, they're not going to just replace half the roof.
Well, that's why there is such a thing as a common insurance, okay? And that's why common insurance is all part of the homeowners association that is being charged by the association. And basically how insurance work, if this whole place burns down, okay, the replacement cost of getting the whole structure of that subdivision up, okay, is going to be borne by a common insurance. And the common insurance is what we're talking about. So it's not more about, they're not insuring, basically what you run into is they're not going to insure the whole subdivision as a common insurance. So in that situation, when there is a common insurance involved, what you're looking for is a condo insurance, because let's go back to the heir, ownership. They're only going to insure what's in between those four walls, which is the inside of your property. Okay, so it's like whatever furniture, whatever, personal artifacts that you have, including the kitchen, including the carpeting, including the floors, they will insure that, but they're not going to insure the whole building. So what you may have come across is somebody that's, like pushing back on the replacement value.
Yeah, and there's
Very
with
good.
condos, there's two types you have to have two separate insurance. You have insurance, like you said, for the common area. It's called a master insurance policy that insures the whole building up to the drywall. And then you, as the owner, we have to have HO6 or condo insurance, which basically covers the replacement cost of replacing everything inside the unit. So countertops, bathroom vanities, anything that's ruined that's inside the unit. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
It's different, right?
It's different.
It's different than a
And
single
that's
family
why
home. That's what we're talking
taking
about.
the time to talk about this, because we're going to touch on affordability and whatnot. And right now, what's like kind of the affordability factor right now is truly condos, townhomes, coach homes,
Yep.
duplex, and all that. But
And insurance is a big part of it too.
exactly. So stay tuned. We got more to talk about.